Good morning, Boo Bears. I hope everyone is doing well. This has been a trying week for sure. I feel like I am just all over the place. And it has been like, I don't even know the word to describe it.
You know, I don't know if I could play this because it's got music through the whole segment. So anyway, this is Miss Wonsley, right? And she had to put out this video because, well, people have been questioning her grieving process. They say they don't think she's grieving the way that she should be grieving. There is no rule book on how people grieve. You know, I'm still grieving. I'm still grieving the loss of my daughter. Everybody in my house is grieving the loss of their sister, their daughter, and their mom. You got a house of 7 people and we're all grieving. Do I look grieving to you? I sat up here and told jokes. What you trying to say I didn't love my daughter? That I don't miss my daughter? Y'all boy, these people, man, not y'all. These people are scumbags, man. I don't even want to talk about it. All I want to say is that how a person processes their grief, how a person survives, is able to function, man, that's all the gift of God, man. That's grace. Fam, that's grace. There are times, especially early on, man, I was like, I want to go see her. I'm not feeling too good today. Maybe I'll get lucky and I'll wake up and I'll be with her. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, this is what the process is. And in fact, we got people that obviously have not lost anyone in their life. Obviously. To make those types of statements, because somebody can do a TikTok video. Motherfucker, I did live streams. Half of it was just to try to get out my own head. We got people, man, that just insensitive jackasses. But the worst part about it, man, are the conservatives. The conservatives who sat up there with their whole eyesight that they still have and watched Erica Kirk hug the shit out of J.D. Vance 2 weeks after her husband got blown away. And they didn't say shit. They saw her show up at an event with leather pants on, skin-tight leather pants. After her husband got, that didn't. Erica Kirk went and did shows. I mean, her husband got murdered on TV. It was on repeat for 6 months. How can she come outside? How can she do anything? But you don't doubt her. Why? What color is this paper? That's why. And of course, she's also conservative. Once I became a part of this club of people who have been faced the ultimate tragedies in their life, I learned that it's very common. A lot of people are in dealing with and have had to deal with and try to get through the ultimate tragedies in life that life could possibly offer you. And those people are everywhere. They're on the roads next to you, driving next to you. They're sitting on the train next to you. You know, they may sit in a cubicle next to you. You understand what I'm saying? And you don't know it. How dare you think you can judge another person's grief or pain or sorrow? This is how people get to go to the upper room. Surprise, surprise, messing with people who are going through things that you have no idea of it. People don't have to walk around with it on their foreheads. This ain't Ash Wednesday, dumbass. Let's get some updates about the Nolan Wells case. And let's stop questioning if people feel sad enough for your approval. Weirdo. Okay, so the official state autopsy is completed. The only bad side is, well, we don't get to find out what it is. And the worst part about that is some people are making fake autopsy results because there's money in it. That's the country we got. That's what we got. We got people doctoring autopsy results just so they can create content. And that's also our economy at work. Who knew? The Mississippi Medical State Examiner official autopsy results are complete. They will not be released publicly at this time, are expected to be presented to a Jackson County grand jury as part of the standard process. This is all standard stuff. There's some people under the delusion that things are being done here that's different. Nah, man, just some people think things. See, they mislead you, right? They tell you something's happening, they don't give you the context, and they let you assume things. That's part of the reason why news coverage is such ass. Now, we know the independent autopsy that was done by the parents or paid for by Colin Kaepernick. We know the results of that came back inconclusive, right? So we're up to speed on that. The Cajun Navy investigative report. They said that they saw Nolan Wells on the beach and he was clothed. And then people say, well, he was only in trunks when they last saw him, and now he's clothed. So it's weird. And now, like, we're getting conflicting reports. Saying, I don't know what to believe in this. Then they say the Cajun guy wanted to change his story. Well, I didn't mean fully clothed. Well, he didn't have on shoes. What are you saying? It's kind of important. If you're going to talk about the condition of a body when you saw it, and then later change that position, it kind of means nothing you say means shit. Also new, the friends of Nolan Wells have launched a GoFundMe or defense fund. Yeah, friends with Nolan on July 4th. Warren Hudson, Jax Patalo, and Morgan Seymour launched a GiveSendGo fundraiser that quickly surpassed $100,000. Who's surprised about that? Organizers say the money will defend against anticipated wrongful death lawsuits from the family's legal team and fund potential defamation libel suits against Benjamin Crump. Social media influencers, news outlets, and others. Yay! They say that they face death threats, harassment, doxing, being wrongly blamed, and that most could not attend Nolan Wells' funeral. You know, some guys, I've never even said these kids' names or these young men's names until tonight. Sometimes when you don't want publicity and you do an overt act, you end up getting more publicity than you were getting before you did the overt act. Ben Crump's team confirmed they obtained the full CTO distress call audio and hired audio engineering experts to review it. So there's been a lot of talk about the audio. Of course, as soon as I covered it, I had people saying, the audio's been doctored, it's made by AI. I got other people saying, no, it's authentic. Then I see this woman went on a show and she says, fam, I don't know what to believe. And I'm thinking it's becoming that way with a lot of folks. They don't know what to believe. I do have a clip of Christine Wonsley, the mother of Nolan Wells, talking with your friend Don Lemon.
What's your assessment on this?
Honestly, I feel like that is a way, which we've seen this before, right? Pattern recognition. We've seen this where things have happened, especially when we talk about the Black community. And, you know, after the death, it's a smear campaign. It's, you know, what can we find out about this person? What can we say? And, you know, that's something, you know, my family and I, especially my husband and I, we definitely do not appreciate. But, you know, we can't fight everyone that wants to have an opinion. But also, too, it's part of society that has been allowed to occur, which is it's gut-wrenching at best. Because if you were in our situation, you know, how would you feel if there were millions of people who are saying, oh, hey, well, you know, he was at an island, he was heavily drunk. And again, even with the drinking, there are so many conflicting stories, only because I have spoken with adults who knew Nolan very well, coaches that were out there. One in particular, I think he told me he saw Nolan somewhere between like 2:45 and 3:30. He was like, Christine, yeah, we talked for a while. We talked about college. We talked about his life, his plans. And he was like, he was perfectly fine. Because I think it had bothered him too that there was this narrative of, oh, he was sloppy drunk. Like and it started at the very beginning. It was, oh, he was sloppy drunk. And I'm like, but was he though? Or is this a narrative that
There are people that want Nolan Wells' story to go away because those people are racist. Family, I don't want Nolan Wells to have been murdered. I hope that he wasn't. The problem is I probably never really know. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't trust cops. I just don't. Look, man, I don't trust Baltimore cops, and I don't live in Baltimore. But I've been there a couple times. I damn sure don't trust Mississippi cops. You understand what I'm saying? So what we have right now is a stalemate. I mean, unless you fell out of a coconut tree last night, if you know anything about history of the United States, you shouldn't trust cops either. Hell, you shouldn't trust any corporation. Not really. There are people that question if the Nolan Wells story is worth our time because what if he was an accident? And what if you're putting all this hope into this or all this focus into this and it ends up not being the outcome you want? And I just want you to know, shut up. Yeah, shut up. You know, Charlie Kirk, he was killed on TV. I must have saw the shooting of Charlie Kirk more than 50 times. And not because I looked it up. And people still question the manner of death. But see, you are rushing Black Americans to accept Nolan Wells' death, and we haven't been given anything. We haven't seen, heard, smelt. We got nothing. But see, you're such a white supremacist that you think just you wanting me to think something is enough reason and power to make me think it. And that's not how my mind functions, and that ain't how I operate. You people, it's one thing to be a racist, it's another thing to be delusional enough to think you have telepathy powers. Aquaman can talk to the fishes. You can send as many of your boot-licking Brandon Tatums, and that's not going to change how the majority of Black Americans feel. Not everybody's a kiss ass like Brandon Tatum. Not everybody's that. Not everyone is that horrible. Yeah. This guy, Nolan Wells' mom and his family want answers to the questions. I can't understand why you don't want answers to the questions. We should all want answers to the questions. We should want to know what happened. There it is. Now, I do believe there's one thing I do want to add, though, guys. Black America, we cannot be delusional. We know how the Democrats get down. Let's not for a second put it past this country to lie to us. And I don't just mean from the right. I don't just mean conservatives. I mean, don't put it past the Democrats to lie to you. Please. I know it requires double duty. Right? It's bad, man. We got people that did not believe that Gretchen Whitmer was kidnapped, the Michigan governor, or there was a plot to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. We got people that don't believe that Charlie Kirk was actually shot with a rifle, though they saw it. And we got people that believe that J.D. Vance has a personality. These things are crazy. Listen. We got people that believe that all of Joe Rogan's friends are excellent comedians, when a lot of them are corny as hell. They're just white guys who hooked up with the right white guy. Listen, we must always be willing to look at the Democrats sideways because they can't be trusted. Yeah, let's not be so busy pushing back on Republicans and conservatives to the point where we lie to ourselves about what we're dealing with. Yeah, we got people that will lie to us just to manipulate us. If it'll help an election for the Democrats, they'll tell you that aliens landed. We do understand this, right? So when people make these assertions, it's not just us, it's also the political climate. You know what I'm saying? In a political reality that we live with. But yeah, you're right. These are scumbags who want to deny us the agency to make our own decisions about what we believe and what we don't believe. Right? It's hard being a Black American because you got to keep your eye not only on the conservatives, you got to keep your eye on the Democrats too. But welcome to the party. You know, there are white folks who don't trust Republicans and don't trust Democrats. For Black America, we cannot be gullible. We know they will use anything against us to keep us looking to them for answers. That's all I'm saying. And I'm just disappointed in the folks who are just so eaten up with the supremacy shit. And they have the nerve to fix their mouths and be like, you should believe us. You should believe your government. You should believe their state. They had the record number of lynchings of Black people on record. Why? Why don't you trust them? Just dumb. If they went to a city and got a traffic ticket that they couldn't get out of and they felt they were going under the speed limit, they never forget about it. That's the thing, man. I know some white people. They will hold some shit like that. They will take that to the grave. If 30 years ago, some of you white guys took a trip to Mississippi, and while you were in Mississippi, they pulled you over and gave you a ticket and said you had tinted windows or some shit, you never forget about it. You go to your deathbed, you're on deathbed, F Mississippi. But Black people can tell you the record number of lynchings in the United States, Mississippi holds the record. You'll still fix your face and say, that's the past. Listen to what we're telling you. Now listen to what I'm telling you, dumbass. We're not going to stop pushing for answers for Nolan Wells. His family deserves that. I know what that's like. The evidence must be presented.
No filters, just the truth.